What is community engaged scholarship? I'm Michelle Caswell. I'm a professor in the Department of Information Studies at UCLA, where I co-direct a team of researchers engaging in community engaged scholarship at the UCLA Community Archives Lab. I'm also special advisor to the Executive Vice Chancellor Provost on community engaged scholarship. We've heard a lot of people being excited about community engaged scholarship, and we wanted to be very clear about what community engaged scholarship means. As some of you might know, UCLA has a new strategic plan. The first goal of the strategic plan is to deepen our engagement with Los Angeles. So we really want to amplify the work that many faculty members and research teams at UCLA are already doing that engage with the larger Los Angeles community, and also really encourage those of you who maybe have not yet engaged with the broader Los Angeles community to really craft thoughtful, mutually beneficial research projects that engage with our city. What is community engagement? The Carnegie elective classification for community engagement has a really broad definition of what community engagement is. They say community engagement describes collaboration between institutions of higher education and their larger communities, be those local, regional, state, national, or global, for the mutually beneficial exchange of knowledge and resources in a context of partnership and reciprocity. The purpose of community engagement is the partnership of college and university knowledge and resources with those of the public and private sectors to enrich scholarship, research, and creative activity, enhance curriculum, teaching, and learning, prepare educated, engaged citizens, strengthen democratic values and civic responsibility, address critical societal issues, and contribute to the public good. And there are a couple of key terms I really want to highlight here: mutually beneficial exchange, partnership, and reciprocity, because those concepts and principles are really at the heart of what community engaged scholarship is. So really, community engaged scholarship should be mutually beneficial. It should benefit both the academic institution, the academic researcher, and the community. The research project should be crafted together alongside and with community partners, rather than a researcher coming in and crafting a proposal about a community. It's really mutually crafted for mutually beneficial relationships. At UCLA, we can think about community engaged research as a set of methodologies and approaches across disciplines that aims to counter extractive and exploitative research practices, and instead build sustained and mutually beneficial relationships between researchers and communities, assert the researcher's commitment to seeing each stage of the research process as part of an ongoing relationship building process with the community. So from the very start, when you're formulating your research questions, the community should be involved. They should be involved in collecting data, analyzing data, every stage of the process. It recognizes that communities co-create knowledge. It crafts research together with communities rather than about communities from the outside. It enhances the capacity of communities to advocate for their own well-being, and it works to repair historic and ongoing harm and shift research power to minoritized communities from the university. Some principles for building better relationships with communities and community organizations. The first is seeing consent as a relationship and as ongoing, right? Consent is a gerund rather than a singular act of having someone sign a consent form for IRB approval. It's ongoing and can be revoked at any point in time. The second principle is mutual benefit. So the research should benefit both the researcher and the community. Long-term investment. So rather than seeing the researcher as an outsider who parachutes in and leaves as soon as data is collected, it's really a shift in thinking about investing in long-term commitment to communities. A sense of humility. So academic researchers might be experts in their own academic areas, but community members are also experts in their own right, and recognizing with a sense of humility that community-based expertise. A sense of accountability. So not only are community-based researchers accountable to their peers in the academic arena, but they're also accountable to the communities that they're doing research alongside and together with. A sense of transparency. So being really upfront about what your aims are and what the aims are of the community. Equity. A really key way of starting to craft a relationship of equity is to pay community members for their labor in the same way that you might pay an academic partner an honorarium for their expertise. Reparation, so again, repairing those historic and ongoing harms, and amplification, rather than dubbing your own voice over that of community members, working instead to amplify their voice, so their voices shine through in the research you're doing. These principles are further developed in an article collaboratively written by a group called the Reciprocity in Researching Records Collaborative. And that white paper is called Come Correct or Don't Come at All, Building More Equitable Relationships Between Archival Studies Scholars and Community Archives. Even though these principles were developed in the context of information studies, I really think they apply more broadly to all different kinds of community engaged research across fields. So you might be wondering, where do you begin? If you have not yet done community engaged work, how would you start? I think the first step is to reach out to community organizations, to community members, to start to build relationships if you haven't already done so, and really asking potential partners what research would benefit them. We might come to the field with ideas already in our head about what might be beneficial to the community, but those ideas might not actually match what the community wants. So asking the community what research needs they have and really listening and working together to craft those reciprocal, mutually beneficial projects. Community engaged research might not take the form of traditional academic research, right? Which we normally think of peer-reviewed publications as the end product. That might be the end product of community engaged research, but it can take many different forms. And here's a non-exhaustive list of what those products at the end might be. It could be policies, plans, workflows, systems, websites, artistic or creative work, software, models or visualizations, tools to collect, manage, archive, or analyze data, white papers that don't go through the peer review process, and also, of course, peer-reviewed research, right? It's really important for you to decide in partnership with the community partners what research output would be mutually beneficial. And again, centering the relationships here is key. The relationship itself is a really important outcome of the work, right? It's not superfluous to the end product. It is part of the outcome, the building of that relationship. And we recognize that that takes time, right? It takes a lot of time to build relationships. If you have any questions or ideas about community engaged research, I'm really eager to hear from you. If you want to share any pain points or success stories you've had doing this kind of work, please reach out and stay in touch with me. My email is caswell@gseis.ucla.edu, and I'm so excited to see the kind of work that you all are crafting together with communities. Thank you.